Day 13. Let's go. High time frame, a little bit unclear. We got, sorry, fair value gap here. Gold looks maybe a little bit more bullish. Silver a little bit more bearish, but both could do some weird shit here, so I need to stay cautious. Let's see if we can like have a what 5-minute chart will give. So look, the problem in here, silver starts to almost break to the downside, gold to the upside, and that's not a good sign necessarily. Let's see. So you could get technically long here with gold. The problem for me is that we don't have fair value gap in hourly, which is a problem because obviously looking at this, we are respecting this right now. I would only get long if we now get like a plus rejection from here and give like an additional 1 minute. Well, is this good enough? No, I don't know. Didn't want to take it. You know, these 1 minute entries are a little bit. We are in an area where we could easily just reject and go lower, and that fair value gap is still not there, so I'm not going to take this. You can see we just end up falling down. The fair value gap is needed in my strategy. Oh, sorry. So when it comes to the fair value gaps, the only really that I can see is this small one here, which could kind of work because we sweep sell side simultaneously. But silver is not really respecting this SMT, and we are not really going higher here, which also can be a little bit problematic because it just looks that it's now moving lower towards these lows. Yeah, so maybe if we see like a convincing breakout structure in 50 minutes, this could work. You can see that doesn't happen, so I would, well, it happens from here, but I don't know, not able to take the entry there. The SMT is kind of still there, but whatsoever. We're still holding this in silver, so quite cleanly actually. Look at that. So if we get like a 50-minute breakout structure here, that could be like a nice idea. Clearly, market is not willing to do that. Broke structure to the upside. 30 minutes to candle close. Let's just see how that kind of works out. Disrespecting all of these gaps. Now we got relative equal highs in here, which means for me that possibly longs are going to happen. We need to get like in somewhere around this area in general, and then I can look for 1 minute breakout structure to the upside. Okay, so now we're quite nicely down. We need to now build structure like properly. Session time is over, but that's fine because we are shifting towards New York session soon. Let's just go New York. So that area does not hold. We move lower. we in my opinion, we have a little bit too much volume for me to get in. Maybe like this could be a new area to get into 1 minute shorts. That's the thing in here. We just need to trade back up there. Okay, now we're there. Now we need to build. Preferably, now we have this low in place. We need to sweep this once more and then give it like a breaker block here and a short. That would be the idea for silver here. Okay. We consolidate, don't break. Now we sweep that high. And we are willing to disrespect all of these areas, which means that we're probably willing to break higher again. This is what these commodities sometimes like to do. They kind of like to manipulate and not really respect all these areas. But that's why you need to, especially with commodities like silver and gold, you need to have like a very nice idea of like confirmation entries in place, because sometimes and quite often you can think that, okay, we went higher, we weren't willing to do anything here, so when we break structure to the downside, we should short. But this is how you ultimately avoid being liquidated so often. Just wait for your 1 minute breaker structure in this area, and it never happens, so there's just no trade there. I'm moving to the next session. Okay, I like this right now. So what do I like with this? So the fact that we got this high, 4 hour is kind of breaking higher, and we got this unmitigated fair value gap. So this is what I like. I do like this. The only prerequisite now is for us to come back down here. I'll be maybe even willing to take 5 minute breaker structure, but right now, if this gives a breaker structure and goes higher, I'm not going to enter again, because we are going like building way too much liquidity downside. It just doesn't work like for me very well. We move higher. Well, so we tap into that. So in 4 hour, that doesn't look too bad. So now we got 1 hour area. Maybe like if 5 minute now, like come a little bit deeper in here, I would want to see the. Let's look at 1 hour chart again. So give me the equilibrium, and I would consider possible longs. Not good enough. There's no fair value gap there, unfortunately. Now we got a fair value gap, but it kind of it's not very conventional one, and then it kind of chops. It's probably going to work as it seems like so, but I feel like it's better to be picky with these setups than try to like execute every one of them. Now we swept that high, rebalance away from this 4 hour gap, which could mean that we're going towards this 4 hour gap here, and this low and these equal lows inside of that gap that we generated yesterday. So aggressive entry from here could happen. Let's look what gold is doing. So gold, we left relative equal highs here. I think that could be SMT though. Yeah, that's SM. Actually, what? Wait, the high. I mean, that's technically SMT because that. I mean, it's not technically, it's clear SMT. But with gold, we could still continue higher because I don't really see fair value gaps in this range here. And there's one here that, from which if we break structure to the upside in 15 minutes, that could work out as a long with silver. Give me the 1 minute. thing here, and oh shit, I actually accidentally skipped. But anyway, I skipped through all of this, but we didn't see a breaker structure. You can see low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. No breaker structure anywhere. Maybe it's going to break structure here, but we are far too up, in my opinion, to still try to get in. I don't like this. And because gold looks a little bit more bullish and clearly we are not respecting this area in silver, I guess there is a chance that we cannot liquidate this high, this intermediate term high, and then still reject. That could happen, but we are ultimately balancing away from this hourly gap. So I think that's the most important one to look at this point, which for me means that this could work as a long, and when gold is also longing, although it's not really printing clear ideas for me right now. You can see how it kind of chops. Okay. So what are we doing here? Well, this break structure here. Gold. No fair value gaps in gold. So what would be the target for silver? Maybe like this order block 4 hour. Because I do like what silver is doing right now, but we need to. I'm going to have it like this. Unfortunately, no trade entry there. Then gold kind of prints this gap, but the problem is the breaker structure happens, but simultaneously with that breaker structure, we also sweep the buy side. The buy is kind of stands, but again, it's kind of invalidated as well. Let's remove all the drawings. Range low, range high. We are kind of consolidating right now, so I would want to see if market wants to move higher. I want it to reject from here and then maybe shift to the upside from here, or then it can just dump because we got a lot of range to drive down, and maybe possible longs from this for our gap could happen. Keeping that in mind. What's gold doing? Doesn't have that same gap really. So I would be concentrating in gold, silver right now, because it kind of seems nicer here. Yo, what did it do? No, I didn't do anything. I was just tripping. Anyhow, I'm going to mark out these two fair value gaps like so, and see if we can see, generally speaking, like a rejection from that area. Which doesn't mean that I'm going to get into shorts. Okay, that's super aggressive rejection. I'm not going to take that though. Price can do whatever it wants. Okay, this could work out. I don't like the liquidity that's in here. If that kind of swept and then moved, would be nicer. But I don't really care. Like, we don't have to get into there, which. Okay. Okay, so now new 15 minutes fair value gap is here, which we have now swept this once more, delivering from that gap. Choppy structure, but if 1 minute gives me a confirmation from that 15 minutes fair value gap, could work as a long. Is it giving a breaker structure though? I mean, this is quite clean in my opinion, but the problem is that it could leave without me. Unfortunately, that's what happens here. Market swears me. I mean, it was a good trade. Possible 2% gain was on the trail there, but not gonna do. That happens. Sweep at the highs there and there. Good one. Let's see how the daily looks like right now. I'm still staying with my bull buys, but we're kind of slowing down, if you can see this. Especially like we chop here, build a lot of buy side liquidity. We sweep all that. Now it's kind of wicking away from that for our gap. So this could actually be like a decent possibility for like a short, which we need to see. 50-minute break of structure. I might have to end this session a little bit quicker today, but anyhow. So this kind of counter trend idea, but kind of I guess my rules could allow me to take this. I don't know. I mean, I should know, and they kind of do. But also, I do need like a conviction a little bit more here, and we got that fair value gap there. So, what I would do in here is that the break of structure looks nice. We got 50-minute fair value gap here. So, the thing that I will do here is, if we can't come to that gap in 1 minute, and give the break of structure again to the downside, I will take this. Seems like we are leaving right now. Now we come back up. Let's see. No. Still cannot take any of this. Please tap into that gap. Okay, that happens now. So if I took this trade, we would be in it right now. In my opinion, this looks a little bit too risky because market is respecting this. As you can see, it was sweep sell side, so this is kind of risky idea. So there's a lot of R's to gain in there. You could even have your stop here, in here. But yeah, I will be managing this. I mean, I will be possibly getting into this if we get like. Let's try to get like additional 5-minute break of structure, because the structure to the upside it kind of. So not right now. Is this a break of structure to the downside? I don't really like it. It needs to be like a sharp and stuff, but it's a super unclean in my opinion. And you can see it like maybe I should have executed that. Kind of worked to my strategy. So if I see like these kind of setups working in the future more and more, then I possibly will be executing these with like full risk, because here if I took that would be 4.5% with like 1% risk, 4.5% gain. More than likely I would have had my stop above here though, so that's a little bit above 3%. But that was super clean idea still. And the idea was just that, why are you taking counter trade at first place? Well, silver and gold are both trading in 4-hour fair value gap. If they were kind of trading like this towards the gap, I wouldn't take this. But because it's kind of slowing down, it could indicate that once we get here and give like a nice break of structure to the downside, it could reverse. And so that's why I started thinking at reversals in first place. And then you get like the cleanest break of structure to the downside that we can really have, and this equal high swept. So that was pretty much like a nice analysis. Kind of felt afraid to take the trade because of the reversal nature of the trade. But overall, take even take profit point was very nice down there. That's the daily fair value gap. Silver didn't really provide the same setup. I don't think so. Yeah. So the break of structure with gold, if I'm not incorrect, it happened in London here, so it's this. Which silver then went and swept again. Gold wasn't even near, so that's nice bearish SMT. But yeah,